Alright, good day, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Go ahead and hit like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can know when I'm uploading to the channel. Alrighty, y'all. So, I'm here to give y'all ancestor message for the day. Yesterday, I bit off more than I could chew. I was so extremely exhausted. I was building stuff. I was outside. I'm a homeschool mom. I was doing a lot. So I was like, you know what? I gotta give myself a little break. But I'm back. I thought it was gonna probably take more days to recuperate, but it did not. So we just gonna jump right into it. Alrighty, you guys. So your ancestors are wanting you to know that it's so much going on for you right now at this very moment. And when it comes to this journey that you are on, it's like no easy route. There's no easy route. Some days will be easier than others, but there's no easy route. But what they are wanting you to do is they are needing for you to let go. And these things that you need to let go of are no longer vital. They're dead. They're like a corpse, or, you know, a shell of something that you were hanging on to. And you may be hanging on to this thing because of longevity. You may be hanging on to this thing because of, you know, how it once made you feel, or because you feel indebted to it, or, you know, you just have so many different memories with it and you're hanging on to it, and you're debating with yourself, as wondering if you should continue to hang on to it or you should let it go. And that thing that's not vital, that thing that is not providing you nourishment, that thing that is not providing you substance anymore, it has to go. Because the way your healing is going, you are healing on a soul level. You're healing on the soul level, and this type of healing is so deep. This type of shift, this transformation is so deep. And this thing got you feeling like, some days you don't know if you're going, some days you don't know if you're coming. You know, you just feeling like all over the place. And it's almost like you losing it, like, but you're not. It's just that deep healing. And with every new level, there is something new that you're going to have to tackle. There are going to be different giants. You're going to have different giants. And every time you conquer those giants, every time you defeat those things that are in your way, there will be new opportunities ahead. Some even better, you know. But you have to face the giants, all right? And therefore, you have to do what's necessary to complete your healing, right? Because in everything that you do, and everything that you experience, and everything that surrounds you, there is a lesson. And that's what your ancestors want you to know. There's a lesson in everything, all right? And you can't skip over your healing. Even if you're passionate about something, you can't just jump right into your passion and skip over your healing. It's not going to work, because then you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and you're going to feel burnt out and things like that, because there were so many things that was overlooked, you know. And sometimes it's not even that you overlooked it, it's just that you thought you did it, but you didn't do it. But your ancestors are saying, like, this journey is different. Certain things that really have to go this time, and once it's gone, then you'll feel light. Look, that plane just took off. Once it's gone, then you'll feel light and you'll feel free. But your healing surrounds letting go. All right, for some of you, okay? For others of you, it's pride. It's pride. You walking around here looking all razzle-dazzle, looking like you got it all together, looking like your family got it all together, your house well kept, but you dead on the inside, you know? So you have to let go of that pride. Let go of that pride, because that pride is killing you. That pride is the reason why some of these lessons are so hard. That ego, you know, it's the reason why some of them are so hard, because there's so many things that continue to come back, but it only is coming back because you don't want to let go of your pride in the situation. Concerned about how you look, concerned by how it makes you look. So your ancestors are telling you to surrender your pride. Others of you are to surrender to self-love. Surrender to loving yourself and putting yourself first. There's this notion or narrative or whatever this thing is called that, you know, has everyone believing that you're supposed to put your family before you, and you're supposed to put your kids before you, and you're supposed to put everything else before you. And that's not true. You got to put yourself first. And once you begin putting yourself first and loving yourself first, a lot of those things are going to translate throughout the things that you're trying to get to love you, or throughout the things that you're trying to, you know, you're trying to make sure taken care of. So if you love yourself first, you can take care of your kids better. If you love yourself first, you can take care of you'll feel better about doing your work, and you'll feel better about going to work, and you'll feel better about doing your job, you know. So it's about loving yourself first and taking care of your needs, knowing when you have bit off more than you can chew, right? So that's self-love. Your ancestors are also wanting you to know that you can't hide from your shadow. Your shadow is that darkness, and that darkness is what allows you to generate light. It allows you to generate light. Everything that you've experienced, everything that you went through, the rage that you sometimes experience, the anxiety that you sometimes experience, the frustration that you sometimes experience, the depression that you experience, is all a part of who you are, and this is what helps you to generate light. Those different addictions that you had, those different addictions that you grew up around, those different types of abuse that you've experienced, those different challenges that you've had, you being stubborn and closed off and having your guard up, all of those things that are considered negative to the onlooker are all that helps you to generate your light. All right, but there's a lesson in your depression. There's a lesson in your rage. There's a lesson in your triggers. There's a lesson in too much love. There's a lesson in overthinking. There's a lesson in everything, and that's what your ancestors are communicating. That this is a lesson. This is a lesson. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. And that's what's happening. You're being tested. You're going through lessons. You're learning. And guess what? Some of the lessons you're going through wasn't even on the lesson plan. Wasn't even on the lesson plan. But guess what? It was one of those, what is it called? Complimentary assignments. It's one of those complimentary assignments. Something came up that you didn't even know you needed. So your ancestors want you to know that you can't run from your darkness. You can't run from your shadow. Your shadow is the mystical side of you. Your shadow is the reason why you're here. Your shadow is the reason why you generate light. Whatever reason, regardless of what the reason is, whatever your shadow was experiencing is what brought you to this journey. If you was a real angry person, that brought you to this journey. If you wanted to know your family, that brought you to this journey. If you had a crazy family that you was living with and you don't know why they did all these different things to you or why you experienced all these different things with your family, that brought you to this journey. And you was an alcoholic or you was raised by alcoholics or drug addicts, you know, that brought you to this journey. If you got problems with your kids, that brought you to this journey. If your kids got problems with you, that brought you to this journey. If you got problems with your husband or your wife, that brought you to this journey. So all of that shadow, all of that darkness, all of that stuff that looks negative to the onlookers is what got you here. And now it's allowing you to generate light. So give thanks to the darkness. You got to give thanks to the darkness. And you can't overlook the darkness. You have to face your darkest self. You have to face the darkest part of yourself in order to generate that light. People don't highlight that though on social media because don't nobody want nobody to think that they go through things. They want to look good all the time. That's pride. That's pride. They want to look good all the time. Ain't nothing gonna be good all the time. Y'all remember your ancestors? Thank you, ancestors. Too much of anything can be bad. Too much of anything is bad. You portraying those pictures on social media and got all these other problems. Those problems is what got you here. So you got to give thanks to those problems. That's what your ancestors are wanting you to know. You don't like roaches? Why people don't like roaches? People hate roaches. Every time they see a roach, they be like, oh man, a roach. Roach ain't doing nothing to nobody. They don't like seeing them roaches. Right? But if you look at the spiritual symbolism behind a roach, the roach is one of the most adaptable insects there is. The roach, along with the spider and other insects, were here billions of years before us, and it's gonna be here billions of years after us. Even when nothing else exists on this earth and the new earth comes about, roaches and insects and a lot of them gonna still be here. They're not gonna evolve or nothing like that. They just gonna be what they gonna be. And if you look at the roach is like a shaman. Roach is mystical. The roach is clever. The roach is quick, fast on its feet. The roach is healing. The roach can live for weeks without its head because it can rely on all its other senses. It can rely on all its other senses to survive. The roach is one of the most, resilient creatures around. The roach could stay underwater and hold its breath for 40 minutes. It could hold its breath underwater for 40 minutes, y'all. The roach could do so many things. It's a profound hitchhiker, all right? It knows how to get where it needs to go when it needs to get there. The roach don't need a lot of food. Most of the time, the roach is fasting. You see what I'm saying? It's very disciplined. And one thing about the roach, you ain't gonna catch all of them. Some of them live as community and some live collectively. But they strategize. You never see a roach. You barely would see a roach in the daytime. If you see a roach in the daytime, it done got turned around. Unless you live in areas with a lot of roaches and then they come out every time you got company. Because I've been there when I was younger. But that's how the roach is so mystical. The roach got 2,000 lenses in his eye. That means nothing can sneak up on the roach. If you catch a roach, it's because the roach wanted to be caught. But people don't want when you come to people's houses, if they got roaches, they don't want you to sit on roaches, boy. Cause they're afraid of how you gonna look at them. That don't mean you dirty. Sometimes it mean you dirty, but that don't mean you dirty. The roach is trying to show you something. It's trying to show you different things. You're resilient. You're powerful, adaptable. You can adjust to any situation. It don't take a lot to please you. Creative. Got all of these multi-talents. That's why they got like 6 legs, I think. Can do multiple things at one time. Can juggle a lot. Can handle a lot. Can take a lot on this plate. That's what it's trying to show you. That's what your ancestor is trying to show you. You could take a lot more than you think you could take. Embrace your shadow. Love that darkness about yourself. That darkness is why you're here. That darkness has made you who you are. And that darkness is going to carry you wherever you wind up. Whether you wind up being a spiritual teacher, whether you wind up being a therapist, whether you wind up being someone that works in corporate America, it's going to carry you. Your experiences, that explicit knowledge, is going to carry you. That's what your ancestors want you to know. All of that stuff is going to carry you. Surrender. Surrender. Surrender to getting to know your shadow and your light self. What else y'all got from your ancestors? Get creative. Do what y'all got to do in this space. Prepare yourselves for what's to come, y'all. Because there's going to be something coming our way soon. And we need to be prepared on all levels. Which is why I've been so busy. I've been trying to garden. I've been trying to do everything. I've been trying to garden. I've been trying to do all kinds of stuff. Homeschooling is a joke. It's serious. It's no joke. But that's like the bulk of the day, and little work that I do, But start preparing yourself. Get your house in order. Get it all in order. Get it to a space to where you're comfortable being in it, like a lot of the times, Because I know y'all have seen a lot of the warnings, like they got like a lot of different things going on with the passports and things like that. It's a lot going on, all right? So don't ignore those things that's going on. Just don't focus on them. But embrace that darkness. Love that darkness. I hope you guys enjoyed this message, and I'll holler at y'all.